Hi, my name's Esther and I'm a first year PhD student at the University of Brighton studying transcultural psychiatry and psychological anthropology. So I started my PhD in October 2018 and it was quite a long journey to get there. I applied to about maybe 50 different courses before I finally got on with funding because I didn't want to pay the £80,000 that it costs to do a PhD. And I remember my dad saying, why should you pay if no one else is paying? You know, don't think that because you're black, that means that you have to pay. And I thought, yeah, actually, that's true. I don't want to pay. So I kept looking for funding. It took me about, I'd say maybe 2 or 3 years before I finally got an offer. I actually got accepted by the same place that rejected me a few months earlier, which is quite funny. So I study with the South Coast Doctoral Training Partnership, which is the universities of Southampton, Portsmouth and Brighton together. It's quite nice being part of a doctoral training partnership because it means you get to meet different people from different universities, different experiences, different walks of life as well. And my topic is quite, I wouldn't say rare, but it's quite unique in the sense that I'm looking at the mental health experiences of black adolescents living in West London through the lens of power and looking at how power influences people's mental health. So the way in which mental health is constructed, experienced and treated as well. Because I believe that a lot of mental health issues stem from people feeling helpless, really, feeling marginalised, feeling oppressed. And then that being transmitted intergenerationally through parents to their young children. So I've decided to focus on how power is embodied in young people and focus my energy on allowing the young people to tell their stories. Because to date, there hasn't been any research that's looked at young people from minority ethnic backgrounds in London specifically. I am originally from North London, from Tottenham, but I support Arsenal. And I grew up on a council estate called Broadwater Farm, which is about 10 minutes or so from like Wood Green, Hackney area. And I spent a lot of my time kind of drifting through a lot of the boroughs in North London. And that's where most of my kind of academic experiences come from. I went to primary school there, secondary school and sixth form as well in North London. And I love it. I love being from North, even though I was kind of a traitor and went to sixth form in South afterwards. But I think all my experiences together have really led me to a point where I have enough knowledge of, you know, black and minority ethnic communities, not just from my own experience, but from friends, family, and the families that I worked with as well. Just hearing their stories and just thinking, someone should really do something about this. And even though we have mobilised as a community to do a lot of things, I think there's an absence of black people in academia, especially at PhD level. So it's quite difficult for us to kind of get our voices heard in the policy sphere, which is where we really need to be. So I'm one of 2 black PhDs in my department, in my school. Yeah, I'm the youngest and the only one that didn't go to a Russell Group University for bachelor's or master's. So I kind of wormed my way in there. And I think a lot of my PhD colleagues have learned a lot about, you know, blackness basically because of me. I would view myself as quite black in the sense that my parents are both from Nigeria. They came here in the early 80s and they're still fresh as ever. So I'm quite Nigerian at heart. And that has moulded me and I take that into university and I don't feel ashamed at all to be like that. I don't feel ashamed to come in with pounded jam at all, even though I have to eat it with a fork because my nails get dirty. Or, you know, listen to Afro beats or explain to them about who Fela Kuti is. So those things are quite important to me and I like being able to share my story with people. So for me, being black in academia means just kind of being unapologetic, not feeling like you need to be anyone other than yourself at all. And just making the most of every experience, you know. Don't just aim to get into academia because it's a long slog, so make sure you enjoy it when you're on your way up to the top. My advice for anyone who wants to do a PhD is think about it very well, like your mum says. Think well, because if you don't, you know, you're gonna completely regret the decision. Try and mingle with other PhDs, find the right uni for you, the right course for you, and build a support network as well. So just make sure that you've got people who care about you, encouraging you every step of the way. And channel your experiences and your energy and, you know, anything that you have to give into making a difference. So look at it as, you know, something where it's not the kind of end goal. The PhD is definitely like the beginning, I'd say.